When we think of the biggest names in rock, it's easy to remember the virtuoso guitarists or charismatic vocalists who dominated the stages. But behind every iconic riff and unforgettable chorus, there's always a drummer holding everything together with precision and soul. Some of these musicians are true rhythmic machines with an abundance of talent, but who, for some reason, never received due recognition. In this video, we'll highlight 10 incredible underrated rock drummers. Tommy Aldridge began his career in the early 70s and quickly stood out with his energetic style in bands like Black Oak, Arkansas, Ozzy Osbourne, Whitesnake, and the Pat Travers Band. His resume is vast, having played with some of the biggest names in hard rock and metal. Aldridge is known for his double bass drum technique and for often playing without using double pedals, which makes him even more impressive. His style mixes speed, control, and power with explosive drum solos and precise timing. Despite being a reference for many drummers, Tommy is rarely remembered on lists of the greatest in history. His influence is profound, but his mainstream recognition is still far short of his talent. Alex Van Halen is a co-founder of Van Halen, one of the most influential hard rock bands. As Eddie Van Halen's brother, Alex maintained the band's solid and energetic foundation from the 70s until the band's end. His style blends swing, aggression, and technique with creative use of cymbals and extravagantly sized drum kits. The intro to Hot for Teacher is just a sample of his rhythmic genius. Despite being the band's engine, Alex spent much of his career overshadowed, not only by Eddie's brilliance, but also by charismatic vocalists David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. His talent was often overlooked due to the focus on the stardom at the front of the stage.
In this routine, I'm talking some new kicks, ones like
Jimmy Chamberlin gained fame as a drummer for the Smashing Pumpkins, contributing to the band's classic albums in the 90s. His musicality was a fundamental part of the group's dense and melodic sound. With a jazz background, Chamberlin brought subtlety, dynamics, and unusual rhythmic explosions to alternative rock. His playing is technical, emotional, and intensely musical. Despite being one of the most versatile drummers of his generation, Jimmy is rarely included among the great names in rock. His complexity goes unnoticed by many casual listeners. Phil Taylor, nicknamed Filthy Animal, was a drummer for Motorhead during their most iconic years. His brutal drumming and tireless energy helped shape the band's raw and heavy sound. His direct and aggressive style anticipated many thrash and speed metal techniques. He played with wild intensity, but with surprisingly solid rhythmic sense. Despite having influenced an entire generation of metal drummers, Phil rarely receives the credit he deserves. His approach might seem simple, but it was innovative and impactful.
The sirens make you shiver. I'm looking down on you. My laser strength.
Scott Travis joined Judas Priest in 1989 and brought new vitality to the band with his sharp technique and impressive speed. He is also known for his work with Racer X. His use of double bass in songs like Painkiller became a benchmark in metal, with surgical precision and extreme power. Travis redefined the role of drums in heavy metal. Even with significant contributions, his name is often forgotten in discussions about legendary drummers. His importance is often underestimated by critics and fans. Be sure to check out the list of the 20 best rock drummers according to our audience. An incredible video full of surprises. Click the card appearing at the top of your screen. Barriemore Barlow was a drummer for Jethro Tull during the band's most creative phase in the 70s. He contributed directly to the group's progressive and innovative sound. With a technical, fluid style full of variations, Barlow blended elements of rock, jazz, and classical music with extreme musicality. He was capable of transforming any rhythm into art. Even praised by names like John Bonham, Barrymore is still a little remembered name outside of progressive circles. A rare talent who deserved more attention and recognition.
Whistle along on the seventh day. Whistle along on the seventh day.
John Weathers made his name as a drummer for the legendary band Gentle Giant, being an essential part of the group's sonic complexity between the 70s and 80s. His drumming was an intricate web of compound time signatures, polyrhythms, and unexpected dynamics, all executed with confidence and style. Weathers was technical and at the same time deeply musical.
Spreading it out over the bad years. Not for these men, this thing you can't hear.
Because he worked in a more experimental and less accessible branch of progressive rock, his talent never reached the general public. Weathers is a true underrated giant of experimental rock. Danny Seraphine was a founding member of Chicago, a band that blended rock with jazz and pop with sophistication. He remained with the group for over 20 years. His style was a perfect fusion of groove, technique, and sensibility, adapting easily to changes in style. His phrasing and precision elevated every track. Despite being a key player in Chicago's complex arrangements, Seraphine is rarely cited among the best. His work is often overlooked due to the band's more commercial nature.
If I were to say to you.
John Densmore was a drummer for the Doors, helping to build one of the most unique sounds in rock history. His performance was fundamental to the band's atmospheric sound. Influenced by jazz and Latin music, Densmore played with subtlety and inventiveness, creating soundscapes alongside Ray Manzarek's keyboard. His drumming was more narrative than percussive.
We're all by your side.
Even being essential to the Doors style, Densmore is often forgotten in rankings and tributes. His discretion on stage perhaps hid his genius.
Just a fortune gambler.
Cesar Zuiderwijk is a charismatic drummer for the Dutch band Golden Earring, best known for classic Radar Love. He commanded the sticks for decades with energy and creativity. Known for his theatrical solos and powerful technique, Cesar combined precision with entertainment, always keeping the groove tight and the performance memorable. Despite his longevity and charisma, his name rarely appears in discussions about great drummers. Zuiderwijk is a complete showman, but often ignored outside of Europe. These drummers may not be on magazine covers, but what they did behind the drums was simply legendary. They deserve to be remembered and valued. Answer in the comments, which underrated rock drummer do you think should be in part 2 of this series? If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to not miss the next ones. And if you want to support our work even more, become a member and get access to exclusive content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.